Hey students, how are you all? Once again, welcome back to the online English classes. In today's video, we are going to continue with our discussion of the chapter Rip Van Winkle. This video is the fourth part in the complete series. Let us first have a look at all the important points that were discussed in the previous video. So in the very beginning we saw that Rip was awakened by an old man who asked for his help. And as we already know that Rip was a very helpful man, so he rushed towards that old man to help him out. The old man took him to a place where some men were playing ninepins. In the last video we saw what ninepins is. All of them had beards of various shapes and colors, alright? They played the game in utter silence with no smiles on their face. So this was very strange about those people. They not just looked very odd, but they also had weird looking beards with different shapes and colors. And also when they were playing ninepins, instead of being very happy and energetic about it, they were utterly silent. As Rip and his companion reached them, they stopped playing and stared at Rip with a fixed gaze. Now, we already know that these people were playing the game ninepins. But the moment Rip and his old companion reached them, they stopped their playing and they started looking at Rip. They were not just looking, they were staring at him. And they were staring at Rip with a fixed gaze. Let us see what the word gaze means. The word gaze means to look at something or someone in admiration, surprise or thought. Now, admiring is another word for respecting. Alright, so whenever you look at someone in respect or when you are surprised to see something or when you are thoughtfully looking at something, that means you are gazing at that particular person or that particular thing. So the same thing happened in case of Rip as well. When he reached that place, those people had never seen Rip. So they were gazing at him. Why? Because they were surprised to see him. Rip was really frightened. Now, that's very natural, right? In his condition, anyone will be frightened. His companion emptied the contents of the barrel into glasses and made Rip drink it. Alright, so as you remember, this old man, his companion already had a barrel. Yes, and he also needed help with this barrel. So what he did was, he emptied the whole barrel. Whatever was there, whatever content was there in the barrel, he emptied that into glasses and asked Rip to drink it. He made Rip drink it. I mean, this was not an offer. He had to drink it. Alright, so what happened was, Rip obeyed as he was trembling with fear. Alright, now you see, Rip is in a very uncomfortable situation. Now he doesn't know what he has to do and he was trembling with fear. So he obeyed the old man's order. Alright, let us first see what is the meaning of the word trembling. The word trembling comes from the word tremble. So, whenever a person, a body part or voice is shaking as a result of anxiety, excitement or weakness, it is called trembling. Alright, now students, whenever you must have noticed, whenever you are very anxious, about your exams or your results are about to come out, or when you're very excited about something, or even when you are not well, if you are sick, it so happens that our body, it shakes on its own. Yes, a person shakes when he or she is in fear of something. A body part, like my hands are shaking. See, I'm so excited about this that my hands are shaking. You must have told this to your friends. Yes, or even when we are, feeling very cold, at that point of time also, we tremble. And in this case, in this chapter, Rip was trembling with fear. Why? Because he was in a very uncomfortable situation. He was surrounded with very strange looking men. He didn't know what to do. That is why he was trembling with fear. Rip obeyed as he was trembling with fear. As you already know, he was in a very uncomfortable situation where he was surrounded by all these strange looking men whose behavior was also very strange. Since he was thirsty, he drank a few more glasses and slowly fell into a deep sleep. Alright, now why was he thirsty? It was because he had climbed the mountain, and anybody who climbs a mountain would definitely be very exhausted, right? So he drank a few more glasses of the drink that was given to him by the old man. But the strange thing is, after drinking, he fell into a deep sleep. Let's see what happens next. On waking up, he found that he was at the place where he had first met the old man. Alright, so now he rubbed his eyes. It was a bright sunny morning. Now, okay, so last we saw that it was afternoon. Yes, and now it is a morning. So a lot of time has passed in between. Surely I have not slept here all night, thought Rip. He looked around for Wolf, but he was nowhere. Now students, don't think that this wolf is the animal wolf. No, this is the name of his dog. When he woke up, he couldn't find Wolf anywhere. Rip whistled for him. Wolf, Wolf, he then shouted. No dog was to be seen. Where has this dog gone? He muttered. Now, his muttering means, saying something to yourself, or when you are very irritated at something, or when something has given you displeasure. When you say something in anger to yourself, that is muttering. So when he couldn't find his dog, he muttered to himself, where has this dog gone? He then began to descend the mountain to go back to his village. Let us see what is the meaning of the word descent. Descent comes from the word descending. Now, ascending and descending are words that you are very well familiar with, right? You have learnt about this in maths. Now, what is ascending? Anything that is going up from the smallest to the largest, or from the bottom to the top, that is ascending. So, when you are climbing up a staircase, you are ascending, okay? But descending is when you are coming down from the largest to the smallest, or in other words, when you are coming from the top to the bottom. In this case, when Rip was climbing down the mountain, he was descending the mountain. Now it's time for a quick recap of all the important things that we have discussed in today's video. In the very beginning, we saw that Rip was frightened on reaching the new place and seeing the new people. He then fell asleep after drinking many glasses of the drink provided by the old man. Now, one thing you have to pay attention to is that drink is a word that can be used both as a verb and a noun. And in this case, it has been used as a noun. After waking up, he could not find his dog anywhere around him. Now, that was strange because his dog never left his company. Finally, he came down from the mountain to go to his village. Now it's time for you to answer some very easy questions based on the part that we have just now discussed. Question number 1. Why was Rip frightened? Number 2. What did Rip find after waking up? Number 3. Why did Rip have many glasses of the drink? Number 4. What did Rip do to find his dog? The answers to these questions are very simple. You won't have any difficulty in answering these. With this, we come to the end of today's discussion, and the rest part of the chapter will be discussed in the upcoming few videos. Until then, stay safe and goodbye.